Hi there, my name is Wayne Hedlund with Wayne Hedlund Consulting. In this video tutorial, we're going to walk through Asana's sidebar navigation. This is going to hopefully help you understand how does the navigation work, and in particular, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to be able to set up and organize your work so that you have as little clutter as possible, and so that you can get to the places that you want to go on a regular basis. As all of us know, when we go to a website, there's always these navigation spaces, some usually at in the top menu bar. This is where we go to understand, to get to the places, to the spaces where we're trying to go. And of course, inside of Asana, we have the ability to do that as well. There's a lot of work that we're trying to accomplish. There's various dashboards or portfolios or projects or views that we want to access. And so Asana has made it easy for us to not just be able to access the places we want to go, but to organize our work in such a way that we can get to where we want to go based on our work, the functional work that we're specifically doing. And of course, all of that can be found in this sidebar navigation. This isn't where we work. This is where we go to get work done in the center of our screen. So first of all, to start off, of course, we can collapse and expand this navigation by just selecting this little icon, the hide sidebar icon in the top left corner of the screen. If you ever do that by accident, you're like, hey, where'd my navigation go? Of course, we can just go ahead and expand it. Second thing I'll mention is you can also expand that wider if you need to, especially if you've got work in here that you want to be able to read, or something is being truncated. You can expand that to your heart's content so that it makes sense for you. With that in mind, we see two vertical bars here, and it's very important for you to understand what these are. On the far left, this very skinny bar, this is the bar where we go to find the group of navigation resources that we want to find. These are not links themselves that take us to work. These are links that take us to more links or navigation options so that we can get to where we need to go. And we're going to walk through each of these very quickly right now. Again, these are groups, and as I select them, it will open up options in the right side of our navigation sidebar. I'll also mention very quickly at the very bottom of the screen, you might have your initials, or you might see your picture. This is where you're going to go to get to your settings or various other places associated with your profile. And yes, this does not look like me, probably just a little bit more good looking than me, but I am logged in as Alan in a demo workspace to help us with this demonstration. Excuse me. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and look at the 4 different groups. The first one is the work group. To be honest with you, this is where probably most of us will live the vast majority of time when we're inside of Asana. This is where the action happens. This is where we go to get things done. So inside the work group, of course, we'll land initially in our home page, but then this is where our inbox is, where we can communicate with various people. We can see our to-do lists, our my tasks. This is where Asana is going to throw all of your to-dos and tasks that are assigned to you throughout the entire organization, and you can curate and organize that as much as you need or want to. And of course, I've got some other videos that talk about how to do that. If you're part of the timesheets feature, this is where you'd go to find that as well. And then of course, we can just navigate to all the different projects in the organization, sorting and finding the ones we want, as well as the portfolios. More on that later. The next group that we see, if this group, the work group, is our action group, then our next group is the strategy group. And this is going to be where we're going to find various resources that are associated with monitoring and understanding what's going on in our organization. This isn't necessarily where we're going to go to work. This is where we're going to find out how work is doing. This is where we might find the goals that our organization or that our team is managing and how we're doing on those goals. Resourcing having to do with workload or capacity plans, and of course the dashboards that we have set up so that we can visualize either for our organization, for our team, or for ourselves how work is getting done. So the strategy section is all about monitoring work. Again, the next one is workflow. Workflow has to do with managing. Managing what? Managing the special features, or the functionality, the advanced tools that Asana has given us to be able to be efficient and productive in our organization. This is where we can see the templates and the AI teammates if you're utilizing that feature, custom fields and forms. Asana throws them all in one place so that we can visualize them quickly and be able to sort them and organize them and understand what's going on with them. So this is mostly for managing or having quick and easy access to the various tools that, again, allow us to be effective and efficient in Asana within our projects. Again, this is not where we go to work. This is where we manage the features associated with our work. And then finally, we have work, strategy, workflow, and people. People is all about, as you can imagine, people or teams. This is where we're going to see the groups of people that are working together on various projects or activities. Sometimes those are functional groups like departments or teams, and sometimes they might be associated with a specific kind of work or a specific project that requires a unique team. And of course, when we go into one of our teams and inside the people group, we can visualize, some general information about that group. We can see who are members of the group. We can see what projects are associated with that group. These are projects that group has been specifically invited into, or projects that group owns, and then, of course, any templates that are specific to that group as well. But primarily, teams or the people group in Asana is about identifying the groups of people that we're going to work with together. Now, I'll mention if you've been using Asana for a long, long time, you might think to yourself, hey, teams are where we organize all of our projects. And in just a moment, I'm going to let you know that has shifted or changed, and I'm going to give you some tips on that as well. So here we are, work, strategy, workflow, and people, the 4 different groups that allow us to visualize the navigation so that we can get to go where we want to go. Now, let me give you a few tips on how to utilize the navigation for you personally. This is not necessarily for your team, because how you set up your navigation in your personal Asana account is going to be unique to you. So you need to take ownership and responsibility to have as little clutter there as possible so that you can clean, so that you can think well, and so you can get to where you need to go quickly. So let me talk to you about a few tips and tricks to help you. The first trick is going to be to make sure in each group that you have established a starred section. What is a starred section? So as we look here in the work group, we can see I have a section called starred. And as I expand that, I can see a number of different resources. These are portfolios and projects that my friend Alan wants to have access to on a regular basis. Starred is Asana's equivalent of a favorite. If you were to go to your browser, most of us know that we can favorite or we can star different websites that we want to go to. In Asana, the starred section is us favoriting the different views, the different resources where we want to have quick and easy access to. If you do not see a starred section, that's because you haven't starred anything. So to give you an example, here I am in Alan's portfolio, and we can see that he has selected the star, which is basically bookmarking or favoriting this portfolio so that he can quickly and easily see it right over here. Now, once he's established those projects and portfolios he wants to have access to, he can drag and drop, he can reorganize them to his heart's content, which we did not mean to do that. He can organize them however much he wants so that he can, really be able to see the things that he needs to quickly. So this is a trick that a lot of people don't fully understand, to be able to quickly and efficiently get to the spaces that you want to go to. And this is going to be most important in the work group, because this is where we go to get work done. But the same thing holds true in the strategy group. We can create a starred section. So instead of looking at all of the recents or having to click or navigate to the various spaces where we think we want to get where we want to go, we can go ahead and collapse the recent and just open starred and have quick and easy access to the starred resources that we want to make navigation cleaner. Workflow, again, similar. Starred right down here, and Alan has access to 2 of his AI teammates as well as a form that he has access to. So, and then the people, Again, same exact thing. You might be part of a large organization with a lot of teams. You can go ahead and collapse that and just star the ones that make sense for you. Okay, and that is the other tip or trick, is reduce the clutter by collapsing anything that you don't need to see on a regular basis. So strategy, workflow, and people, you will see that I've collapsed teams. There's nothing to collapse here. Strategy, I've collapsed recent. And then, of course, most importantly in work, I just usually collapse the work because I'll have them set up here in a way that makes sense to me. Another little tip or trick as you use the navigation sidebar is to understand that when you select something, like right now I'm in Alan's important work. This is a portfolio that he has set up for himself. When you are inside the main view, you can go ahead and still select the group, the various groups without navigating away from where you are. So for instance, if I want to quickly navigate over to strategy or to people, I can do that without losing the view that is here. Of course, at that point in time, if I decide to select something inside the rightmost navigation section, then I'll lose whatever was there. But I'll give you a little tip or trick. If you're on a PC, you want to know about the control key, or if you're on a Mac, the command key. So here's what's kind of neat and fun, you might not know, is if you hold down the control or the command key and select the various links, you can open them in new tabs so that you can have quick and easy access to them in various tabs. So for instance, right now I'm in Alan's important work, but I might want to open the AI Studio, this portfolio down here. I might want to pop over to people and also open leadership. And as you can see now, all of those things are open in different tabs to be able to give me quick and easy access between them. If I have multiple displays, I can throw one over on one display, or I can do a split view and various other things as well. So that's another little tip to be able to utilize this well. Final couple things, and then we will finish up. And that is, I want to highlight the importance of utilizing portfolios inside of Asana. And again, if you've been using Asana for a long time, you may have organized your work based on teams. But if you are in the advanced or enterprise tiers of Asana, you have access to something called portfolios. And this is where we can create folders where we can set up or curate lists or groups of projects and even other portfolios so that we can have quick and easy access to them, and so that we can monitor, see status updates, workload, and a ton of other cool things. But from a navigation perspective, portfolios are actually very important, because no longer can we set up the teams in our work navigation. This is now where those portfolios are going to be. So as we can see, Alan has a portfolio called Alan's Work. It's a private portfolio or project folder that's unique to him, so that he can mouse over very quickly and just get to where he wants to go. This is even more meaningful because now, for instance, he doesn't have to put request for creative production. He doesn't have to star that off to the side and kind of gum up or create more clutter in his sidebar. Because it's in a folder, he can go ahead and unstar that, because now he can just mouse over and get to that very, very quickly. So again, there's a lot of potential for creating and organizing your work effectively and meaningfully, so that you have as little clutter as possible, so you can navigate where you need to and want to go. And a big part of that is understanding and using portfolios. Again, portfolios can also be nested. As you can see in Alan's important work, he also has another portfolio called Team Projects, where he can click in there and see the various team projects that he's part of. And of course, as you know, hopefully, portfolios can also be shared with other people. They can be team-based portfolios and even be available for the entire organization. So from a navigation standpoint, very important that you use the starred section, set up those portfolios and or projects so that you have quick and easy access to them. The last thing I will mention as we finish up here is don't forget, as I mentioned earlier, the settings section. You might want to remember that as you go into your settings, there are a number of options that you can consider, including display options so that you can change your sidebar color to a gray color if you prefer, or a black. Of course, you can set up a theme for your dark theme or light theme. And of course, there's a number of other options here as well. All right, I think that covers pretty exhaustively all of the things that I wanted to discuss and talk about as it is associated with the sidebar navigation. Hopefully you found this meaningful and helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous day. Bye now.